Hello, hello. Welcome to Just Jenna. You have no idea how excited I am that you're here. I'll be sharing the wisdom, questions, and curious little truths I've gathered along the way. From brilliant thinkers to weird memes, from ancient texts to the knowing of nature. Some of what I've learned came from books, some from breakdowns, some from simply paying attention, and some from fumbling through it myself. My hope is that these stories expand you the way that they've expanded me. So maybe, just maybe, you don't have to trip over the same parts of life I did. And if you do trip and fall, it's okay. I won't tell anyone. Hello, my little beans. Hi. What's crack-a-lackin'? What are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a good day, a sweet little day. I'm having a sweet little day right now, and so I'm like, you know what? It's time to record the pod. What am I going to talk about? I don't know yet, but I'm set up shop. I have this microphone balancing on top of a trash can lid. I have a sparkling water to my side, and I got energy in me, so I'm just going to let it loose, okay? What do I want to talk about today? I'm like looking around the room, like what do I want to talk about? I'm going to talk about marriage. I was like, okay, Jenna, I would like to talk about marriage. My opinion, my thoughts, my feelings. Because when I believe I was a freshman in high school, and I was debating my good friend Bugs, which, hey Bugs, you know, I give you a shout out every episode anyways, but I'm like, shout out Bugs. We had a debate, I believe it was when we were freshmen, where I was arguing that love was a choice and she was arguing that love was a feeling. We we wrote an essay, kind of like taking a stand, saying what we had to say. And we bring this up to each other quite regularly still, because I still will die on that hill. I believe love is a choice, and she still believes that love is a feeling. And the other day I was thinking about it, and I even told her, I was like, we're both right and we're both wrong. But what matters here is that the person that you're with, the partner that you choose, if you want to believe that it's you choose or if it's fate or whatever, that doesn't matter. The point is, whoever you're with, they also have to believe in whatever you believe, because you need to be existing in the same reality. So if I believe that love is a choice, it means that my partner also must believe that love is a choice. If you believe that love is a feeling, then you should be with a partner that also believes love is a feeling. Because the reason I'm bringing this up is because I have my non-negotiables list. People, y'all know, I live and die by this list that I have created. It is my protection. It is my boundaries. It is my way to protect me from these shiny carrots in front of me. Anyways, but I just added this new quality on my non-negotiable list. And it is that my partner needs to be existing in the same reality as me. Because the older I get, the more I've experienced, the more people I've talked to, the more interactions I've had. It is very clear to me that a lot of people are not existing in my same reality. It's not meaning that their reality is better or worse, right or wrong than mine. It just is different. And there are how many billion people in this world? I don't even know, but there's a lot. Isn't there? I have no idea. Where's my phone? Oh my God. 8.2413 billion people. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, okay. There's a lot of people. Oh my God. Wow, that's a huge number. That makes me feel excited and like wow, okay. I didn't really know that. Anyways, I've talked about this so many times on the pod, and it's just something that is very clear to me at this point, that your entire world, your entire reality, your entire life, all of your feelings, the story that is you, your identity, your personality, your ego, your everything everything exists within inside of you already. You're creating your own reality. You have your own perceived reality going on in your head. And I've met a lot of people now that are existing in a completely different reality than me. And when I was younger, I thought for the longest time that I needed to convince people to see the world through my lens, through my reality, because it felt very uncomfortable that I was looking up and seeing that the sky was blue, and it felt like other people were like, no, the sky is most definitely not blue, it's purple. And I'm like, what do you mean it is blue? I've talked about this with a couple of my other friends before. It felt like the longest time in my life I was trying to explain to people why 2 + 2 = 4. Okay, when in reality, it is not my duty, it is not your duty, it is no one's duty here to try to get people to understand your reality, to see life through your reality, to convince someone that 2 + 2 = 4, because there are 8.2 blah, 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 blah billion people. There are people that will see that 2 + 2 = 4 and that the sky is blue, and you don't need to convince anyone of it. The reason I'm bringing this up, I guess I don't really know, is because, I have a perspective. I have a way that I see marriage and life and love and all those sorts of things. And I have been actively dating, you guys, ever since, I don't know, April, May. I made a choice. I was like, I'm going to do this thing because I know what I want now and whatever. And so I've been dating, and there are so many people that either I'm actively dating that are not in my same reality, or people that I'm just talking to about dating in general that do not see what I'm doing in the same way. And I know it is not my duty, it's not my job at this point in my life to explain it, but I do just want to share my perspective because I'm curious if anyone else views it in this reality. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know, but whatever. I just was talking to Hallie the other day, and I explained this to her because I don't think she was understanding my perspective, and she was curious about it. And I've talked about this a couple of times with her, but she wanted me to explain it to her again. And she was like, okay, I think I'm getting it. I think I'm getting what you're saying. And I'm like, oh, cool. This has been in my brain because it's been something I have been battling within myself. What is this? When I like someone, when I can see a potential future with someone, if I like someone, I do not like people often, okay? I don't like people often. I like a lot of people, I guess, but to genuinely where I actually think it could go somewhere, that is very rare for me. And I met someone that I really liked. Wow, I did just say the word liked. Okay, noted. That's for my own personal. Anyways, but I started noticing that I was feeling a little bit possessive-y, kind of. Not in a crazy way. Genuinely, I'm very calm, cool, and collected. But I just noticed that coming up of oh, he could be mine, I could be his, and whatever. And I started kind of questioning myself a little bit. Do I like that I view people that way? People aren't things to have. People are having their own human experience. I don't know if I like that I'm feeling mine and ours and this and that. I don't know how I feel about my brain doing that. So then I started getting a little curious with myself. I was like, why am I doing that? What's going on here? And you guys, I think I have to say I back it, because I view marriage as a business partnership. I do not view it as a romantic thing. I just don't. I will not get married to someone probably unless the plan is to have children. I don't see the point in having marriage unless I'm having kids with someone, because I view marriage, at least from this current reality that I'm existing in. And the current reality I'm existing is living in the United States of America. I'm like, okay, I would want to get married to have a prenup, to have a contract, to put things within this contract that protect both me and my babies. Okay. If I'm not having babies, I don't give a hoot about getting married. And back to the business thing, the business partnership, I view myself as the CEO of my life. I view myself as like this entrepreneur, and my life is my business, like my actual entity. It is my business. Not like, oh, it's my business. It's like, no, it's my business entity. It is an LLC, whatever. And I'm in the hiring process. I am in the hiring process of hiring my executive partner. That's how I view my husband. And this person needs to add value to my life, because why on earth would I go into business with someone that isn't adding value to my life? I want to go into business with someone that adds value to my life, and I want to go into business with someone that hopefully, well, they will do the things that don't come naturally to me. Do the things that I need help with, right? I know my strong suits. I also know my weaknesses. And that's just how I look at that. And when I think about business and partnership, again, it's just the lens that I look at this through. If I were to actually create a business, let's say I opened my own restaurant. That restaurant is mine. I would protect that restaurant with everything I had in me. Like, it would be mine. And I'm like, maybe that's why when I am looking and dating men and I'm doing the things, I kind of view it as like mine, because I have standards, I have conditions. This is another thing I think I'm just going to start flowing into, is I do not believe, for me, my reality that I exist in, I do not believe marriage is unconditional love. I do not believe, at least at the beginning, it is like, I don't want someone to love me unconditionally at the beginning. Why do I say that? Sounds a little harsh, perhaps, to someone that does not see this through my reality, through my lens. But if I'm on a date with someone and I meet someone and I show up, again, looking at it through the lens of like, I am the CEO of my company, and I show up and I say like, this is my business. This is who I am. Like, my name is Jenna. I care and value health and taking care of my body. I exercise. I don't really drink. I don't do drugs. I don't do any of these things. And then all of a sudden, a year down the road, I eat like shit. I start drinking again, and I start doing all of these horrible things. I don't want someone to be like, oh, love her unconditionally. That's my girl. No, I hope they look at me and say, what the fuck? Like, this is not what I signed up for. We went into business. I went into business with this person. Like, what are you doing? I want someone to call me out. I want someone to like get on me. I'm the type of person though that like wants someone to like kind of get on me, and I just don't need a yes man. I feel like I was surrounded by yes men, and I'm just not looking for a yes man. Anyways, I look at it with conditions. Like, if I'm going into partnership with someone, if I am going into this thing of life where we are sharing, like we are creating a spirit, that we're not creating a spirit, but we're creating the container to like allow a spirit to come to this earth and have babies, there will be conditions. You don't get to just be somebody. Not for me, not in my business. Absolutely not. You don't just get to be whatever the hell you want to be. No, absolutely not. I have rules. I have conditions to the way that I'm treated, the way that my partner will be treating themselves, and the way they'll be treating the babies. Okay. And I think that's why I look at partnership and look at like some of these men that I'm like dating and talking to and whatever, just kind of being like, are they like, would I want to be theirs? Would I want them to be mine? And I know there is so much information out there. There's so much information out there that is like, no, you're not anybody's. Like you don't get to own anybody. I'm not talking about like owning and control in like a weird, shitty, gross way. But everyone is always like, you don't own someone. Like they're not yours. They're their own person. And like, I totally get that. But dating and marriage is the only form of family that you get to choose. And I just have conditions around it. I have conditions because you don't get to have conditions in any other relationship that you're in. All that other shit, that's unconditional. And I do think marriage and what I'm talking about could bleed into unconditional love at some point. But for me, that's not my focus. That is not my focus. That is not what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about something completely different because I just see it differently. And especially, let me talk about business again. I know, this is me just saying it with my damn chest, but because I know I want to have babies, I also know that I refuse, I am not having babies unless I will be raising, like, I just know I'm going to be raising the kids. I know I'm going to be raising the babies. I'm not going to be doing other work other than raising kids because everyone can do whatever they want. I am never putting my kids into daycare. I don't want other people to be watching my kids unless it is someone I trust very, 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 very deeply. And so I know my husband's going to be working and I'm going to be raising the kids. Okay. It's going to be that. That's what I want. And so why did I bring this up? Oh, because the reason I also am looking at this as a business partnership is because when you go into business with someone, you have contracts, you have legal papers, you have things in place helping you in case shit hits the fan, in case something bad happens. There will be splitting here. You get this money, I get this part of the business, I get this legally, you get whatever. So because I know I want to have babies and I know that I'm going to be raising the kids from at least, when I say at least, it's going to be at least 0 to 5. Those developmental years, oh my God, they will not be in the hands of another. They will be in the hands of me. And so because of that, I am not going to be making an income. I'm not going to be working unless like something happens in my life where like I'm acquiring some sort of like passive income. But like, no, like I want to be so focused and locked in to like bringing this child into this world. Like I do not want to be doing other things in that time. I'm not talking about hobbies. I'm not talking about little things, but I'm just talking about like a stressful job or like a job where like you have to be so locked in to this other thing. I'm not talking about, I'll have other things going on. Okay. Not the point. See, I'm explaining myself to a stranger right now. Bye. Never mind. So because of this, it's important to me to have a prenup and to put things in this prenup that protect me because I'm not going to be working. I'm not going to be generating an income. And so what am I going to do? Just put my full faith into some dude, not like some dude, but like put full faith into my partner that like he's not going to end up going off and cheating on me or doing something foul and weird and just stupid. And I'm just supposed to expect that like love is going to keep us together? Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. I want to have a prenup in place. That way, if something happens, because something will happen regardless, like something bad is going to happen. Why? Life. That's life, baby. Do we get through it? I sure hope so. I'm assuming we will. I assume the best, but let's be so fucking for real right now. We're dealing with the human experience, and it is just, you never know what to expect. You never know what's going to go on, okay? Something could happen. Something could fall from the sky. You don't know. And I want to make sure I am protected and my babies are protected, and it's how I feel about it. So I think that's why I am an intense little bean when it comes to this whole dating thing. Also, it's probably intense for me as well because, like, I know that I want to like start these things now. But regardless, I think it's also important to, here's like a reminder to myself and anyone else in regards to knowing what you want, because I know what I want and I know I want it now. And so that's why I'm like, I can't even believe that I'm single. But anyways, know what you want. That's good. Hold that true. Hold that in your heart. Know what you want. Go for what you want. But remember that if you don't get what you want, you're going to get something better. And I have this like prayer. Hold on. I'm going to pull it up. It's a good one. Take this if you want. I started saying this maybe about like a month ago. Actually, it's in my actual journal. One second. As you know from the last episode, your words are very important. Okay, your words are very important. And it came really clear to me that I don't need to manifest anything in particular. Like, that's just so irrelevant. It feels like in my life, like I don't need to manifest like a house, like a specific house or a specific car or career or husband or whatever, clothes or whatever, blah, blah, blah. All that bullshit that everyone is manifesting and talking about, filling the ether with bullshit noise. Sorry, I'm feeling a little edgy all of a sudden. But my focus now, and I've been saying this to myself every day for probably about a good, maybe about a month. And it is, I am resonating at the frequency of the timeline that is most abundant for my unique path. Everything that enters my life supports my highest evolution and vibrates at the same frequency as my path. Anything that does not match my frequency naturally clears away, making space for what is truly meant for me. And that is it. I know if I continue to be myself, stay honest and true, continue to be just Jenna, God damn it, whatever is supposed to come into my life will. And again, I think I know what I want. And so I am holding that here. I'm taking aligned action with that in my mind every single day. Every single day. However, when and if I meet somebody, like I meet someone that I'm like, oh my God, it's him. I found the guy. I found the thing. I know with 100% certainty that if it's him, then it will be him. Period. Simple. And if it's not him, I do not chase. I do not claw. I do not try to rationalize. I do not try to convince. I do not try to do any of that. I simply let it go. Why? Because there is something even better coming to me. And I know this. I know this. I have so much proof and so much evidence in my life now at this point that every single time I didn't get what I wanted, I've gotten something better. Every single time. And I believe that is true for everybody. And so I know that while I have this desire to build a family, build my own tribe, do this thing, I have an idea of this person who's going to come into my life and want to do this thing with me that's existing in my same reality, that like views it as such, like has standards, has conditions, wants to add value to my life, wants me to add value to their life, wants to get married and have kids and likes to, do this sort of thing while I do this sort of thing, like a complementary counterpart sort of deal. I know that someone out there exists because I wouldn't have this dream if it didn't. And I also know that I am going to be tested again and again and again and again by the universe to be like, okay, does she actually mean it? Does she mean what she says? Is she going to continue to take aligned action? Is she going to use her discernment? And I say every single day, I'm like, give me what I want or give me what I need to still learn, because I think I'm ready, but you never really actually know. So I think I'm ready, but I also know that whatever comes into my life, I have to be completely discerning over. And that's another helpful reason why I think creating these this list, this like boundary list, this non-negotiable list is so helpful because it allows you to stay anchored and stay true to yourself, even when you have that shiny carrot dangling in front of you, even when you want to like break your rules for someone, break your thing, whatever. And I'm not saying to be like overly rigid. I also think it's really important for you to use your own discernment of like when you need to go back into your non-negotiable list and your boundary list that you have created and see like, is this still true for me? Do I still feel this way? Do I want to change anything around? Do I want to change something around for another person or for myself? Why am I changing it? What is going on here? Why am I adding something to the list? Why am I taking something away? Just be really honest with yourself here. Because you don't want to be doing this shit for another person. But also I'm like, as soon as I said that out loud, I'm like, but maybe you're supposed to. I think everyone has their own rhyme and reason to this whole thing. I don't think any path is linear. I don't think anything is a one size fits all, but it's just been really interesting for me because I think the way that I feel about it, I have experienced every type of dating advice and online, and especially the online shit, which again, I'm still off of social media, but when you go online, everyone's going to say that like what I feel is wrong and bad. But I don't feel like in my heart that it is. So therefore, I'm staying true to that. Will I change my mind down the road? Maybe. Maybe one day I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I felt that way or whatever. I guess I'm just saying all of this not to get anyone to see marriage and dating and love and kids and all the things through my reality. Hell, this conversation isn't even about marriage and kids and dating. It's not even about that. It's about something even bigger. It's deeper. It's more unseen. It's about following your own intuition, following your own voice, following your own spirit, listening to your own truth, and doing whatever it is that you want to be doing, not what other people want to do, not what other people are telling you, not all this conditioning that you've picked up along the way. No, to hell with all of that. If you want to view marriage through the lens of a business partnership, then you need to do that. Because that means you are going to attract someone that also does the same thing, that they're existing in the same reality as you. If you want to view love through a more feeling-based, emotional-based lens, then do that. Don't let anyone tell you that viewing love through that lens is right or wrong. Absolutely not. Because it's just not. I was talking to one of the girls in my yoga training about this like non-negotiables list, or about just like staying true to yourself no matter what. Because we were talking about age. We were talking about age gaps, age differences. Like, do you have a range that is a hard yes or a hard no or whatever? And she said that she has a rule where she was like, I will never go 5 years younger or 5 years older. And she was like, well, what about you? And I was like, I've actually thought about this a lot. I don't have an age I don't have an age on my non-negotiables list where I'm like, they have to be either older than this or younger than this. I don't have that. And then as soon as I said that, she looked at me and she was like, well, maybe I should do that too. Like, it feels like I'm limiting myself, like how you're kind of open. And I'm like, no, if it's in your heart, if it's coming from you, coming from your spirit, coming from love, that you don't want to go 5 years younger, 5 years older, then you need to stay true to that, because that means that your person is either 5 years younger than you or 5 years older than you. And I need to hold true to mine, no matter what society says, no matter what other people say, because my person might be older or younger in a way that like, I don't know yet. But I think that's the whole point in all of this, is like staying true to what is just genuinely true to you. Do not let other people sway you. Listening to me talk about this, do not let my words sway you If anything, please let my words sway you to just continue to tune in to your own inner world. If you don't know what your own inner heart is saying, if you don't even know what I'm talking about when I say tune in to your own spirit, your own soul, your own heart, your own love, if you don't know how to do that, I'm being so dead ass when I say you need to sit down every single day and you need to be quiet and alone and allow yourself to go nowhere and do nothing and have nowhere to go, nowhere to be, nothing to answer, nothing to do, nothing. Silence. You need silence. But also, when I'm saying this, I'm like, maybe you don't need silence. I don't know. But I think a lot of people could really use some silence. And you just need to start asking yourself questions. Like, what do I want? And then tune into your body. How does it feel? If you say, here's a great example. Let's talk about age again. If you say, do I have a number? Do I have an age that is too old or too young for me? Ask yourself that question. And if you let's say you get an answer, if that answer feels expansive, if it feels like a sigh of relief, if your body feels good and open and relaxed with that answer, then that's your answer, and just go with it and keep it moving. If the answer, or even if the question makes you feel constricted and like you're shriveling up and it makes you feel like you're holding your breath and you can't breathe and you're going to choke, then that is not the answer. And maybe you don't even have an answer. That's fine too. But that's how you can tune into your body. In my experience, when I'm asking myself questions, when I am trying to tune into something that's deeper than the brain, because I think the brain is beautiful. I think the brain is a beautiful strategic partner. It is awesome for creative thinking. It's awesome for innovation and all of those sorts of things. But when it comes to the trajectory of your life, your spirit and your heart and love makes your brain look like a toddler with crayons. Seriously, there's nothing wrong with a toddler with crayons, but I'm like, there is an ancient wisdom that is living with inside of you if you just shut up and sit down for 5 minutes and ask yourself some questions, okay? That, in my experience, my body, physiologically speaking, feels like it feels good. It just feels good. And when I feel constricted and tight and shriveled, I'm like, oh no, my body doesn't like that. My body does not like that. And I just wanted to throw that out because maybe that would be helpful for you. But I really do think getting clear, and it's not clear as in like you have to stay rigid, but clear as in constantly asking yourself questions every single day. Like, what's true for me today? Because when I say, oh, I don't care about age, if I wake up tomorrow and I care about age, then you can bet your ass I'm going to start caring about age. But you need to get curious and the age thing is like, if you know my personal life, you'll get it. But regardless, there's things you can ask yourself every single day. Like, do I care about this today? No. Okay, cool. Ask yourself the same question again tomorrow. Do I care about this? No. Oh, still no. Cool. You don't need to get attached to anything necessarily speaking, but I do think it is important. There are some things where it's like, I don't know. Have your feelings about it. Everyone is always like, oh, be loose and flowy and all that. And I think, yes, be loose and flowy and open, but also like stand for something. Oh my God. I talk about this all the time. If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. I have an whole episode about it, but it's so true. It's so true. And that's why this list helps. Get a list down, people. It can be for love. It can be for career. It can be for yourself, how you treat yourself. It can be for your home environment. It can be for anything. But you need to get clear and ask yourself some questions like, what matters to me? What am I going to allow in my life? What am I going to accept? What do I want? What am I going to refuse? What am I going to say no to? Am I going to say no to the most perfect person that checks off every single box because they are currently unemployed? That's for you to decide. That's not for anyone else to decide besides yourself. And it's okay for you to say, no, they have to be employed. And it's also okay for you to say, I don't really care. It doesn't matter. The answer here, there's no right or wrong answer. The only right or wrong answer is the one that is true for you every single day. Every single day. And staying true to that, and do not let other people sway you. Do not let the goddamn, let me take a sip of my drink. But also, as soon as I said that, I'm like, you know what? Maybe you do need to be inspired by other people, because you're the only one that will know, you guys. That is why I genuinely think when I say dedicate a year to discernment, what does discernment mean to you? Ask yourself every single day, what is my definition of discernment today? How can I be more discerning today? How does discernment feel in my body? And I'm serious, Google it. Google what the word discernment means. Make your own definition. Do whatever you need to do. Discernment is the most important quality that you can have. It's the most important skill, not quality. It's the most important skill, because discernment is an action. It is actively making choices. It is actively having thoughts. It is actively doing something. Discernment is so huge. Discernment is so huge, you guys. Because I check it in myself regularly, all the time, daily. But throughout this podcast even, it's like checking in and being like, well, I might be wrong. I might be right. I don't know, because it's completely up to you. And it's something that is ever changing and ever evolving. But I think dedicating an entire year just to seeing what it feels like for you is so important. And it's worth every amount of effort, because now I am able to move through my life in such a quicker, and I don't mean quicker in a better way. I don't think quick equates to good. But for me, when I was stuck in rumination, when I was stuck in not being able to make choices, when I was stuck in decision paralysis, when I was stuck in, for example, a year ago, I wouldn't have been able to make a non-negotiable list for a romantic endeavor. Absolutely not, because I would have been like, oh, I need to Google this, or I need to opinion shop and ask everyone else what they think should be on my list. But now, absolutely not. I do not need to ask a single soul about this, because I know exactly what I want and what I don't want in terms of discernment and being discerning with people in my life and what I want and what I don't want. But that's only been through discernment. Same with moving and doing all of these things and starting this and quitting this and going here. Discernment. It's all through my discernment, because nothing I'm doing is right or wrong. Nothing that you're doing is right or wrong. But there is, in my opinion, there is a right and wrong for Jenna, for today. There is a right and wrong for you, the listener, right now, today. There is. But also, maybe in your reality there isn't. I don't know. I will never know. Okay, I feel like I'm done. I feel like I'm done yapping. Marriage, love, yeah, I guess I started with that, and now we're here, back to discernment, per usual. But I guess just to full circle this whole thing, is the number one thing on my non-negotiables list right now is that my complementary counterpart, which that's what I'm calling them at this moment in time, my complementary counterpart exists within my same reality. And I'll know that within the first 10 minutes of meeting someone. So it's a simple yes or no based on that. But stay true and get curious about what this means for you. Also, maybe you don't give a shit about dating and love right now. Okay, that's fine. This whole concept can be applied to whatever. It doesn't matter. This is what is on my mind. This is what's on my heart. This is my focus right now. And so that's why I'm speaking about it. I am not speaking for anyone else besides me. I'm being so for real. And I'm so sorry. I know I'm talking at you guys. I'm my little beans, and I do love you guys. I love you guys so much. But this totally is for me to express myself and get some shit off my chest. But understand what your reality is. Understand that everyone is existing in their own different reality. It is not your job to explain your reality to anyone else. You're going to meet people in your life. I have so much proof of this, and I'm sure you do too. You meet people and you instantly are like, oh, they get it. They get me and I get them. Cool. Does that mean everything is easy? No. Does that mean that you are existing in the same reality? Potentially. Anyways, figure out what your reality is. Figure out where you want to sit in your reality. Figure out how to use discernment to figure out who is in your own reality and who isn't. Because I think choosing someone to be in your life that is not existing within the same reality as you would be a completely insufferable life. Oh my God. Ew. And I view marriage as a contract and a business deal. And I feel really expansive about that. I guess it's another to kind of tie that into what I was saying at the end. When I'm saying all this makes my whole body feel expansive and open to receive and lovely and abundant. And I feel joy when I say this. If what I'm saying makes you feel constricted and icky and gross, then this means that this is not your reality to be looking through at this moment in time, which is super cool. It's super cool. But like I said, this is how I'm viewing it. And yeah, so I think initially when I was having all these thoughts of like, oh God, like, is this bad that like I'm viewing like another, like I have conditions and I'm having these rules and I'm like kind of strategically looking at it like this. I'm like, is this bad? Well, no, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad actually, because I think it's helpful for me right now. And yeah, that's how I feel about all that in a bag of chips. So yeah, 42 minutes. Okay, cool. I just did some. Don't even know what's going on, but I feel pretty good about what I said. So let me know what you guys think. What reality are you guys in? I actually really would love to know. I love knowing what other people's perspectives and realities are, because some people are, there's so many different options. Oh my God, it's infinite. It is absolutely infinite of where you could be existing in your reality. And like how people view love is so fascinating to me. How people view relationships is so fascinating to me. I love it. It's so cool. And nothing is right and wrong. And don't let anyone tell you that the way you view it is right, or anyone tell you the way that you view it is wrong. Nobody. Because no, fuck that shit. Gross. Anyways, I love you guys so much, and tell me how you view this shit. I'm so curious. Genuinely. But I love you. Stay true to yourself. Tune into your own inner compass. You do not need to opinion shop. Discernment is key. And if it makes you feel good and expressive and expansive, that's the answer. If it makes you feel icky and gross and scared and like you need to run away into a cave, no, not the right answer. But that's only through my experience. So it might be the right answer for you. I don't know. You're the only person that's going to know. All right. I love you guys. And I wonder if this made anyone think anything. If this made you think any thoughts at all, just let me know. Seriously, I'm so curious. God damn it. All right. I love you guys.